Hello everyone, this is Julian Pinheiro from the Vocabulary and Reading Study, and this is the Installation and Maintenance Guide. So first of all, you would like to get this application up and running locally, so I'm going to help you do that. The first thing you will want to do is clone the repository where this application is stored, or you could use the final deliverable given at the end of our semester to continue and work on that. The next thing you will want to do is make sure you have MySQL downloaded, and you will want to have a local account, and you want to create it with the following credentials: root as a username and root as a password. Now the reasoning behind this is because we already have it manually set up here, and if you look in this path here, there is, if you look at the application YML, the reason behind those two is because we already have it manually set up here for local builds. So this will automatically log into the database. So if you need to change these for any reason, you will want to change this in the application YML. Now moving on from that, you will want to log in to MySQL using the CLI. So you can log in here. And then you want to enter the password, which is root. And now you'll be in MySQL. So you will want to basically create a schema named VIR. And I already have that done, so I wouldn't do it right now. And then you will want to exit this screen. Now once you do that, you will want to have these specific sources here. Now keep in mind this might change if you name your project on your computer differently, so that is something to consider. So once you get this, you want to add the tables, and then you want to add the data to the tables, which is basically all the words, things like that. Now the next thing you will want to do is install dependencies. So when it comes to dependencies, there are some dependencies required on the back end and the front end. So for the back end, you need to make sure that Java is installed, and you need to set up an environment variable called app encryption password, and this is a secret key given to you by the product owner, and this should be provided to you by them, and if you don't have it, you should ask for it, as well as the SendGrid API key and the prod key. And in addition to this, you will also need to install Tesseract on your system. So you can do this from the GitHub link provided in this document. And in addition to this, you will need to make two environment variables, one for Tesseract path and one for test data prefix. Now, on the front end side, there's many different aspects that are being used here. So one thing you will need is Node and NPM to run this project. So these are the things you will need. Many of these things are actually run through the initial system, not just the front end. So these files are in the front end and the back end. So if you can find these README documents, you have one on the back end specifically and one in the front end specifically. Alright, so now that the dependencies are done, we will now look at to install the program itself. So now we will run this command. Now running this command, it will install and build the development environment. So another thing to consider here is that npm install is also running here. So if it's your first time running this, it will actually download a lot of things. So this might take many minutes to do. So just be careful with that. And also to add on to this, this is the local build. This command isn't for the production build that we will talk about later in this video. This is just the local build. Okay, so when the project is actually done compiling, you will get these 3 success bars. If there's any failure, then it will show there, and then you will have to debug. But in any case, this can be found in the target folder. So if we take a look here at code and backend, we'll see that the target folder will have this compiled version here, which will be read from this v5.0-InstallMaintenanceGuide document. So let's take a quick look inside this document. We'll see that there's many commands running in through here, and this is calling that specific file. So that will, when we run it, it will call that specific file located in the target. Right, so the last thing I will talk about here is the production build. So to make the production build, you want to make sure that there is a release and bundle folder in the VIR backend directory. So you want to make sure that these two folders are there. If they aren't there, make sure that they're there and just leave them empty for the time being. So then you want to run this command. You want to run virs and then prod. You want to run the prod build here. Now, if this causes any issues for you, you want to make sure that you run the prod build if you're on Windows, and then you would have to temporarily remove test and debug it in this location, in this file path. Hopefully it shouldn't come to that, but if it does, then this is how you would sort of debug this issue. Hello everyone, so the production build of this project is running on AWS, and the login information and details should be provided by the product owner to allow you to use this. Now the project is running on Elastic Beanstalk, and this is running inside an environment that was created here. And so here it is where you would want to upload your AWS bundle for actual deployment. Now this can be found in this backend folder here. So you have a bundle and a release. The bundle gets created when you run the production build. Take a look here. It looks very similar to the build for the local build, but there's some differences inside of there. Whereas there's like different ports associated with AWS, and there's also different credentials associated with different databases in AWS that needs to communicate through there. So this bundle needs to be put through there. So yeah, so this is the final release. So this is the zip folder you would actually put in this section. You would actually upload this, and that is it.